It's only been a few days since myself, Alice, and Eliza underwent the Will-O-Wisp procedure, a magical process by which we were implanted with otherworldly parasites that racked our minds and bodies with unimaginable pain. And in exchange for all of that suffering, enhanced our magical abilities. And as such, though the effects were great, we have yet to see any true results, as it's simply too dangerous to attempt to use magic until such time as we have recovered from the process. I've spent every morning for the last 2 days waking up with immense pain, such that every move of my body feels like agony in motion. And yet, I have to keep moving nonetheless. With things in the Worthington household in the state that they're in, and our magical business venture on the line, I cannot afford to lay around for days. As such, pain or no pain, I continue to toil away, working my way through endless piles of paperwork, caught doing it myself once again, as even the slight use of magic it would take to form my doppelganger, I've been strictly forbidden from using. What little time that I have, aside from working my way through these stacks of paperwork, I try to spend working on our magical business venture, trying my best to refine the process of obtaining our magical ingredients from Sylvia and other sources. Luckily enough, profits from Worthington Industries have been greatly booned by my new magical abilities. As such, I've had ample resources to begin placing into the matter. Ever the while, there are still looming concerns. Though this boost in power and magical ability will greatly benefit our little group, it's still a far cry from an answer to all of our problems, with still too many looming questions overhead, threats that endanger not only myself, but Alice and Eliza, the start of which begins, of course, with Alice. Her possession of 2 construct abilities, both of which can be passed down through the bloodline, has made her a prime target, not for assassination or death, but for collection. Many people in the magical world seek out those with bloodline construct abilities in order to marry them into the family and thus strengthen their own magical bloodline, the natural abilities that they possess. Taking in these exceptionally rare magical abilities can strengthen the families from which they hail immensely, garnering them not only magical power, but respect within the magical world. I managed to fend off the first of Alice's so-called suitors, Sylvester. However, I doubt that will be the end of it, and there's no telling who will show up next. And even Sylvester Givings is unlikely to simply let the matter drop because I bested him in a magical duel. He will most likely take it as a slap in the face, a disgrace to his honor to have lost to someone who does not hail from a long-standing magical family. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that his family is no doubt experiencing backlash from having a member of their family lose to someone with no true magical heritage in the magical world. So, there's no question that they'll probably be back. The only question is when. And if that weren't enough trouble, there's still the matter of the werewolves. As absurd as the concept sounds, first-hand experience has yielded me the knowledge that werewolves are very real and exceptionally dangerous, even to a magic caster such as myself. Even myself, Alice, and Eliza combined could barely slow a single werewolf down. We were only saved thanks to Sylvia's intervention. It's possible that our new increase in magical abilities may help us if that werewolf comes calling once more. But I would rather find a way to deal with the situation before that happens. The primary problem with the werewolf being that we've discovered the intent of the attack. Originally, I suspected it was about myself or Alice. But no, lo and behold, truth has it that the werewolf was there to kill Eliza, and we still have no answer as to why. We only know that that was its purpose, that the rest of us were simply caught in the crossfire, resistance that was unexpected. I doubt they even believed that Eliza had magical abilities. They simply thought that they would do away with her. And yet, clearly because of the werewolf transformation itself, we are unable to determine the identity nor true motives of the person trying to kill Eliza. Why would someone want Eliza dead? She isn't even a werewolf. And as far as I'm led to believe, most of their trials and struggles and grudges tend to stay tight-knit within werewolf communities. So why are they targeting Eliza? All of these thoughts roll through my head as I sit in my room, staring at my blackboard, an intricate number of thought bubbles connected by lines and strands, a mystery that I'm trying to solve and seeming to be getting nowhere on. All the while, we stand on the precipice of a magical war between two separate magical alliances, one that has most in the magical world on edge, if not completely terrified of the prospect, leaving anyone who is not an official member of one of these two alliances out in the cold, given no protection from the backlash of these war efforts, no protection under law, and thus easy targets, which basically covers everyone in my group. This is the entire reason that we were constructing a magical organization, a business, and through this business, our end intention was to force our way into the magical world, despite their heavy rules about blood lineage, magical generations, and such nonsensical rules about who can and cannot join. As I said, an ever-extending list of problems with no easy solutions, danger mounting at every edge. Truth be told, I wish I could be training right now, gaining more experience in magical knowledge. However, the will-o-wisp procedure has me waylaid until such time as my body is fully recovered. It's at that very moment that there came a knock at my door, with the utterance of a few magical words and the snap of a magical storage device of sorts, a gift from Sylvia, small sticks containing enough magical resource to cast slight spells, something that she gave me to ease the burden, that would allow me to use small bits of magic without risking harming myself or utilizing my own magical abilities. I hid away all of the magical information scattered about my room, unsure of who exactly was knocking, after which I unlocked the door, opening it up. though once again the movement to do so was painful to say the least. And at the door was one of the household butlers. Hello, Mr. Worthington. Good morning to you, he said with a slight bow. I'm sorry to disturb you, sir, but there appears to be a visitor requesting entry to the estate. It appears to be a young girl that I am unfamiliar with. She is accompanied by several butlers, so it's obvious that she is of high esteem. However, being that I am unfamiliar with her, I thought that I would ask your permission before allowing her entry, as her request seems to be to speak with you. The young lass says her name is Amanda. She's quite an adorable little girl, and seems to be quite interested in talking with you. Well, I replied, still unsure of why this Amanda would be here to talk to me. I'm sorry, but I don't know any Amanda. Do you maybe have a last name? Maybe I know her from business somewhere. Perhaps one of my mother's business associates' children. Yes, well, she did give a last name. She said their family name was Givings, so her name would be Amanda Givings. And with no warning whatsoever, the first of the dominoes begins to fall, as I've just received a visit from a member of the Givings family. If this goes poorly, there's no telling how bad it can get. And with me unable to use magic, going poorly could mean my death. This is definitely not going the way that I wanted it to. But I have no choice. I can't let them know that I'm in a weakened state, but I have to see them nonetheless. Okay, I replied, as I began to open my door a bit wider. Tell them to meet me in the office and escort them up, and I'll be waiting for them. I gave the order as the butler shuffled off, on his way to the front door to welcome them in. Okay, Regiment, no time for pain. Right now is the time for action, and whatever I do, I can't let them know what kind of state I'm in. For all I know, they could try to take advantage. First thing in the morning, and already a life or death game of diplomacy. Well, I can't say it's not up my alley.